Hello! Sorry I'm 1 minute late. I know that every time I'm a minute late, the entire comment section is like, where is it? Good morning, everyone! How art thou? How are all of us? We good? Comment if you can see me. I don't see your comments yet. Let me pull them up on here. Hello. Oh, there we go. Hi, everyone. How you doing? Let's see. Okay, sorry, I have to pull it up on here, otherwise I will not see your comments because they come in so freaking fast. Hello! Hi, guys. POV, you're supposed to be in Zoom. You better get over to that Zoom, especially if that's class. I cannot. Hello! Tell me where you guys are coming from. I always love hearing where around the world you guys are tuning in from. Oh, shoot. Sorry. My phone isn't charging. There we go. Ugh. Hi from London. So many of you guys are watching during class. I cannot with you guys. Colorado, India, Florida. Your poor teachers. You should pay attention to the class. Scotland, Canada, South Carolina, Maine, Malaysia, Canada, UK, Toronto, Vermont, San Diego. Oh, Romania. That's so cool. I want to go to Romania so badly. That would be awesome. South Africa. Oh, I almost went to school in South Africa. I was super close. Never got to, unfortunately. Ireland, Sweden, Qatar. Ooh, that's so cool. I want to go to Qatar. Wales. One of my subscribers that won the giveaway, she was actually from Wales. It was so cool talking to her. I was like, tell me everything about what it's like. I want to go. Panama. I just want to go every single place that you guys are. When travel is back up, I mean, my goal with traveling has always been wherever I travel, always do a meetup there, at least before COVID came. But after COVID, I definitely want to do as many meetups as I possibly can because it'll just give me an excuse to travel around the world. And who doesn't want to travel around the world? But it means I can meet all of you guys, which would be amazing. Is peanut butter a good moisturizer? I'm just going to pretend I did not hear that, see that. Let me just drown my eyes real quick. Egypt. Oh, I miss Egypt. I miss Egypt so badly. I've been thinking about it lately. I'm like, oh gosh, I want to go. Anyway, hello everyone. If you aren't familiar with the live streams that we do here on this channel, I get to answer your skincare questions. So any burning questions that you've had while watching my videos or anything that I haven't answered in my videos, or if you're just curious to know about some moi, you can ask them here. I was going to say answer them here. I'm the one who answers them to the best of my ability. And I want to say I'm not a licensed esthetician or a dermatologist, so none of this is like medical advice. Please, if you're struggling with any skin concerns or worries or anything like that, please go see your professional because they know your skin, they know what's best, and they have years and years and years and years worth of professional training to be able to gauge what you should do to help your skin. This is just for fun, for information's sake, to help you guys out if you're like, should I get this cleanser or this cleanser? What do you recommend? Etc., etc. It's just all for fun. And we have a lot of fun in these live streams. They're a little bit crazy, which is why I always have way too much coffee running through my veins. I have cold brew this morning. Emma Chamberlain Coffee Company. That shit is strong and so good. I highly recommend it if you're considering purchasing it. Anyway, yeah, feel free to ask any of your skincare questions. I will try the best I can to answer as many as possible. I try to keep this like super like bullet train speed, and I'll try to answer as many super chats as possible to the best of my ability as well. But if you do send a super chat, thank you so much for the support. Not necessary whatsoever because I answer a mix of both super chats and normal questions. Wow, I'm sorry you guys. There are so many cars driving by this morning. I don't know why it's so loud, so I apologize if you hear like chainsaw massacre going on in the background. Yeah, and let's just get into the questions so that we don't waste any time. I'm excited. Why does it feel like so long since I've, done this? Let's see. I've never had a skincare routine. What should I start with? My skin is mixed with brown spots because of the sun and some dark spots. Thank you. I'm from Tunisia, but I live in Canada. Whoa, that's so cool. I would absolutely love to go to Tunisia. So I would say definitely the first thing you should start using is a sunscreen, because that's going to help to prevent the worsening of those dark spots, and just to prevent like 90% of the problems that you're going to see in your skin if you just use a sunscreen. That's like the best thing you can do. So I'd recommend start using like a sunscreen, whichever one you feel is best. Also, in addition to that, start using like a moisturizer or a treatment like an exfoliant. Like chemical exfoliants can really help get rid of dark spots and aging and pimples and breakouts and stuff like that, but you can only use a chemical exfoliant if you are using a sunscreen. I almost lost my train of thought. So you can only use it if you're using a sunscreen. Otherwise, I don't recommend using a chemical exfoliant whatsoever. If you're not going to use a sunscreen, because I know a lot of people don't like to use them, even though I don't know why, because it's the most important part, I would say just go with a cleanser and a moisturizer. To start out with, that should work good. And I would say, honestly, CeraVe, if you have access to CeraVe, it's great. The Ordinary is also great. They have good basics. The Inkey list also has amazing basics that are super affordable, but will give you really good results. Sorry, what is going on? Sorry. There we go. Oh man, so many questions. Okay, let's see. What are the best beard care products for people with acne? Thanks for all the helpful videos and posts. You've made such a difference in my skin. Oh, thank you so much, Joshua. That's amazing. So beard care, you know, it's really important to use like hydrating oils that aren't going to like block pores. So sometimes people like to do their own DIY oils, or just like 100% straight oil to nourish their beard. I don't recommend that, because it can like sit on the surface of the skin and can block the pores in that area, which leads to breakouts, and it's just not something that you want under a beard, and it just kind of becomes this vicious cycle of you feeling like you need to have a beard because you're breaking out underneath. I would say definitely make sure you're cleaning that area, because it does get, you know, dirty and sweaty quickly. You can just use like a regular face cleanser or a very gentle shampoo, and then in addition to that, just use there's various nourishing hair oils. To be honest, I can't think of the top of my head like a really good beard oil, but I'd say just any mixture of good nourishing oils like jojoba oil. Also silicones can be really good for the hair as well, so if you look for products with kind of a mix of those, the only thing is just I would not recommend doing any DIY or any 100% pure oil, as that can have, you know, problematic consequences. But I hope that helps. I mean, to be honest, as you can tell, I'm not very experienced in the beard area. That's like not my expertise, and my hair, obviously, you can see the 3 weeks untouched purple fading, that I don't know a ton about hair, but I would say that's just my main recommendation. What's a good spot treatment? I'm using the one from First Aid Beauty, but I don't think it really works that well. Yeah, so spot treatments are a little bit tricky, because it really is just trial and error. It's seeing what works best for your skin. I would say if the First Aid Beauty one, I'm trying to remember, I think that one's sulfur. If sulfur isn't working, try going for a salicylic acid spot treatment. I love the Clinique salicylic acid spot treatment. There's also the, I forgot. Oh, no. You can also try the Versed one if you do want to try like a different sulfur one, because sometimes salicylic acid doesn't work for some people. But I'd say try the Clinique salicylic acid spot treatment. It may be a little bit expensive, but that stuff lasts forever. It lasts so long. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get through mine. But if you are struggling with more than just like a few spots, oh, here it is. Yeah, this one right here. If you are struggling with like more than just a few spots on your face, I definitely recommend getting like an all over acne treatment. Like, I take that back, it's not in front of me. I usually have all my skincare right here, but I moved to a new location, so everything's kind of in between. The Polish Choice 2% BHA solution is a miracle product. It works so well, and I definitely don't recommend a spot treatment if you're struggling on a daily basis with more than 3 or 4 spots across your face, because it's just better bang for your buck to get an all over acne treatment like the Polish Choice one, or any like 2% salicylic acid treatment, because that's the highest concentration of salicylic acid that you can get. Okay. Oh, Keenan says, I'm so proud of your merch, boo. Keep changing the world. Oh my gosh, we have to catch up. I have not talked to you in forever. Thank you, Keenan. I mean this in the most amazing way possible, because I love you, but your hair is giving me onion vibes. But it's so pretty. Oh, thank you. I mean, I can kind of see that. Too bad I absolutely abhor onions. I hate onions. Like, I try not to be a picky eater, and I am that person who will push through no matter what. But if I'm eating like a burrito or something like from Taco Bell that has onions in it, and as soon as I feel that crunch, I'm just like, eject slowly take it away. No mas. I can't handle onions, but thank you. I am planning, well, I was planning to touch it up multiple times this week and I keep running out of time and I want to do it this morning, but I also think I will run out of time, so folk may. But thank you. I appreciate the backhanded compliment, I think that was. Best way to clean off a clay mask, as I know washcloths are frowned upon. Love from Scotland. Yes, so I would say a good way is using one of those like, you can get it like, well, you can get like a fancy one like Vera, or you can get one of those like really simple like silicone face cleanser things that you like put on your finger and you go like that. Those can typically be a really good way to remove it without like really aggravating the skin. You just make sure you wet your face and then you go in using that little like silicone brush head. Not brush head, but it's like a silicone, you know, the one with all the little bumps on it. You just like rub it across. That really helps me to get rid of it. And also just like taking your time with water is the best thing. Just really taking the time to super soak your face. I will say though, if you are using a clay mask that just like dries down on your skin so hard that it's really difficult to get it off, I would be a little bit skeptical about that mask, because masks really shouldn't be that stripping and that drying to your skin. It can really like damage your moisture barrier if you're not careful. So I just say that because I used to do the one that's like the Aztec clay mask. That stuff would just dry out my skin so much and make it so red, and it would take forever to take it off because it's literally like stripped all the hydration from your skin. So just be aware of that. I'd say if anything, go for a more hydrating face mask if possible. Hi, thoughts on Glow recipe, especially PHA, BHA toner, and banana souffle moisturizer. Thanks, Illy. Thank you, Alex. So Glow recipe is one of those, I made a video on them. I bashed them pretty hard because they're a brand that's really focused on like aesthetics and fragrance and doesn't really like fall super in line with my personal philosophy on skincare, but some of their latest releases have had like, they'll put fragrance on the label, but like I've talked to the founders, which the founders are such nice people, and they say that like the fragrant components are only like the actual extract. So like the plum serum is like, the fragrance is only the plum extract, which I would consider not technically to be fragrance, because I mean it is, but it's not, because it has more benefits. It's a little complicated. I think the only thing, sorry, it's really bugging me. I think the screen is crooked. This is like really bugging me. Okay, I think I fixed it. And so yeah, that's like the only thing, and I have a difficult, I think maybe I'm just like scarred from a bunch of brands past, because every time I see fragrance, it's usually a bunch of different ingredients that they're not wanting to disclose. But when I've talked to Glow Recipe, the actual amount of fragrance that they use in their products is extremely low, and they really do rely on the natural aroma of the already beneficial ingredients in the product. So I will say, besides the fragrance, their ingredients are really amazing. I think they're a good brand that, you know, delivers a lot of really good ones, and the toner specifically, the PHA toner, I think has amazing ingredients. I still need to try them like a bit longer. I think, like I said, I think I'm just scarred from other companies like not disclosing so much fragrance, and I'm just like, ugh. I don't know, but I still need to try like some of their products out more. But I like the plum serum, and I really like the PHA toner. Hi Hiram, I have oily skin and I don't struggle with acne, but I need help with texture, dark circles, and I've never worn sunscreen since I was a kid. Never knew it was so important. Well, now you know. That's the most important thing. So thank you for asking, Millie, and thank you for, you know, doing what's best for your skin now. Now that you're using a sunscreen, you really can go into the world of chemical exfoliants and retinol, because those are ingredients that are really not accessible unless you are wearing a sunscreen. So if you're wanting to get rid of kind of everything like dark spots, aging, dark circles, retinol is really the best thing that you can get. It'll help to repair all of that. So just like a good starter retinol is the Inkey List retinol. I think it's 0.5% retinol. You can also try the Paula's Choice 0.5% retinol, or maybe it's less than that, I can't remember, and Bakuchiol treatment. That one's awesome if you're kind of wanting to try like a little bit of two types of like, well, like a real retinol and then like a kind of innovative ingredient alongside of it, Bakuchiol. But I would say just start off with like an easy retinol, or you can also use like chemical exfoliants like glycolic acid can really help to brighten any dark spots on the face. You can also use vitamin C, although I'd be just a little skeptical about which vitamin C you use. Make sure it's like really airtight. Make sure it's pure ascorbic acid. That way you're getting like the true benefits of vitamin C and you're not paying for a product that may not work. I'd say, but retinol, really, if you just want to like get rid of all those issues as fast as possible, that's the best way to go. As with all retinol I recommend on my channel though, make sure you only start using it once a week and work your way up from there and only use it at nighttime. I hope that helped, Millie. Can you use aloe vera on your skin? Yes, you can. Aloe vera does have one component, well, it has multiple components. Here's the reason why I don't recommend like taking a plant, scooping out the inside and applying it to your face, is that, you know, within a lab, they're able to essentially like separate the irritating components from the really beneficial components. Say if it's like bacteria or bug poop or different things like that that can be irritating, they're able to like purify it by separating those two and giving you the best benefits possible. When you are taking it from a natural plant, it's kind of a toss-up, but I will say aloe vera is an amazing ingredient for the skin. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's the best. The only time I've seen that work with people is if they're just like literally every single product in the universe is breaking me out, nothing is working, I can't get my skin to recover. Sometimes aloe vera is better, but usually if you're at that point, I recommend going to a dermatologist because that would signify some really severe skin problems that you would definitely want to take care of. What's the difference between Purito Comfy Water and Centella Green? Luckily, I have both of them right here because I reference them all the freaking time. So these are two of my favorite sunscreens. The difference is that this one is a zinc oxide based sunscreen. So it's a mineral sunscreen. It has a tiny bit of a white cast, but mineral sunscreens are great for anyone who has super, super sensitive skin. And it's so impressive because usually mineral sunscreens are never SPF 50 without like a crazy ton of white cast, but this one manages to do it and it's very lightweight, almost like a water consistency. This one is a Korean chemical sunscreen. Now, I don't like USA chemical sunscreens, but Korean chemical sunscreens, in my opinion, are a lot more innovative and don't have the same level of risk associated with coral reef bleaching that USA chemical sunscreens do. And this one specifically is also an SPF 50, but I'd say it's a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more like a moisturizer than this one. But honestly, they're very similar, and unless you have like a very dark skin tone, I would say you can use both. But if you do have a very dark skin tone, I definitely recommend this one, as there's definitely no white cast with this, as opposed to a tiny bit of a white cast with it. But I'd say if you are someone who has crazy sensitive skin, this one would be the best one for you, since zinc oxide tends to be the least irritating out of all the sunscreen ingredients. So hopefully that explains it. Let's see. Opinions of Indy Lee. Would love a review video. Love you. Thank you. Love you too. So I got to meet Indy Lee. She is such a sweet person. Her brand, I'll be honest, I only like one, maybe two products from the brand. The two, yeah, the brightening cleanser and the CoQ10 toner are amazing. And when I first discovered the brand, there were only like a few products out, and I loved those products. But as she's released more products, they're very essential oil heavy, very like natural is better kind of messaging, which really disappoints me because I just don't support that messaging whatsoever. And especially with the irritation that essential oils can bring, I'm just like, oh, can you like please provide us with products that don't have a ton of essential oils? But her CoQ10 toner is amazing, and the brightening cleanser is also bomb. So if you were to get products, I'd recommend those two. But she's a very nice person. Hi Hiram, love your videos. They've helped me so much. A problem that I'm still having is a lot of little whiteheads on my nose that won't go away. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Thanks. Thank you, Lizette. Yeah, so when it comes to whiteheads, it's usually a sign of overproduction of sebum within the skin. Whiteheads are sebaceous filaments that form on the top of the pore that usually caused by just an excess amount of oiliness. Now, there could be a few different things causing this. Make sure you're not using an overly stripping cleanser, because if you're stripping your skin too much, your skin will overproduce sebum. But even more so than that, I would say two different ingredients are amazing: niacinamide and salicylic acid. That's like the dream mix. I wouldn't recommend using them at the same time, but using like niacinamide during the day and then salicylic acid at night. The reason why: niacinamide will help to reduce sebum control within the skin, and then salicylic acid deeply exfoliates the pore and makes sure it clears it out, as well as reduces the oiliness within the skin. So both of those usually will really help to just prevent whiteheads altogether, and also prevent issues like blackheads and other things like that too, as well as like redness and sensitivity and all the benefits that niacinamide brings along with it. So, you know, There's a reason why I'm always recommending niacinamide and salicylic acid. It's just such a great combination for anyone who is, you know, struggling with acne. But like I said before, I would recommend, best case scenario, to use them at different times of the day as opposed to like at the same time. Let's see. Hi Hiram, my boyfriend has oily skin and acne prone skin. I'm from Australia and I'm not sure what cleanser and moisturizer to buy him. What's your suggestion? Ooh, you know, I do struggle a little bit with international recommendations. The only reason because I don't know what products are available in your country. That's really why on my channel I try to focus as much as possible on ingredients so that I can equip you with the knowledge to be able to make your own informed decisions when purchasing products, because inevitably I won't be able to know which products are available in every single country around the world, and it sucks. I wish I could, but I just can't. So I don't know what's available in Australia, but I know Australia has Sephora. So you have, and oh shoot, what's that other store? It's like Sephora. Is it Boots? No, that's UK. I can't remember. There's another store like Sephora that's like super cool in Australia. I can't remember what it's called, but I'd say if anything, I mean, CeraVe is always a great one to start like guys on out, since it's very like non-gendered and it seems like not very intimidating. It's pretty recognizable by a lot of people. But if he's specifically looking for acne prone skin cleanser for oily skin, the La Roche-Posay Toleraine, I also don't have that around me. I'm just not going to reach for the products because everything's, you know, at the other location. The La Roche-Posay Toleraine Purifying Cleanser is a great option because it's just going to really clear out the excess oiliness and, you know, build up in the pores, but it's not going to overly strip the skin, and it doesn't have an acne treatment. I would say save the acne treatment for like a leave-on treatment overnight, like the Paula's Choice 2% BHA solution, or a different treatment that you can use overnight that has 2% salicylic acid. I'm so sorry. I have like, what is it over there? Okay, it is. It's like something in the corner that's bugging me. Oh my gosh, that's what it is. Okay. I'm like, oh, it's driving me crazy. I have a, like, it's a whole bag here. I'll show you guys. Do you see this? It's all cosmetic packaging that I'm going to recycle. Look at how freaking huge that is. It's insane. They're all empty and flattened, but they're all piled up. And sorry, it was bugging me like crazy in the corner. I was like, oh. Anyway, recycle any product packaging that you get. Make sure you recycle, and not just the packaging itself, like the box itself. The boxes usually like 99% of the time can be recycled unless they have like specific types of like plastic on them. So I'd recommend saving them and putting them in a box or bag to recycle. Okay. Hi from Canada. I'm 32 and can't find a good sunscreen, cleanser, and moisturizer. I have very dry and dehydrated skin, but the trick is I have rosacea on my cheeks. Ooh, my skin is reactive, not sensitive. I worry about wrinkles. So that's a very, you know, those are more specific problems, especially with rosacea. Anytime you do have kind of like a more like medical skin condition or concern, I would say it's usually a good idea to go to like an esthetician or a dermatologist if you do have access. But I will say, yeah, that's a tricky one because rosacea, you don't want to put too much moisture on there, but when you have dry skin, you want to really moisturize up. I will say just use a lightweight water gel, but use one that has a good blend of silicones, because silicones are going to be really beneficial for preventing any transepidermal water loss, so you're not going to overly dry your skin. Sometimes with a lot of lightweight moisturizers, they don't have the proper ingredients to really serve as a seal on the surface of your skin, what a moisturizer should do. So ones like that, let me see, I'm trying to think of ones like that. A lot of the ones from First Aid Beauty are amazing. I mean, most of the ones that I recommend here on my channel are pretty great. Also the Biossance probiotic gel moisturizer is great. But this kind of goes for anyone who does have like mixed area struggle skin. Like I have combination skin, for example. So I can't use one moisturizer for my entire face. I have to use one moisturizer for my oily area and one moisturizer for my dry area. As much as I want to say like you can use one moisturizer, it's fine. I just don't believe that you're going to be able to, you know, properly address the problems if you're only using a moisturizer that's more suited for like oily skin or dry skin. So on the parts where you do have rosacea, I'd say use a lightweight moisturizer, and then on the rest of your face, use a heavier moisturizer. You can go watch my video about like the best skincare for oily skin and the best skincare for dry skin, because I've talked about like my product recommendations there, and you can kind of find the one that matches up for your skin. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky. I wish I could respond with just like, oh, just use this product, you're good to go. But that is a little bit more of a tricky problem. And because you do live in Canada, I know that sometimes dermatologists are a lot easier and definitely significantly cheaper to get there. So if anything, I'd recommend going to a dermatologist and seeing what they recommend. Because I don't think, like in Hawaii, dermatologists are $150 to $250 a session about. So they're really expensive, but I don't think they're that price in Canada. I have dry skin, but I'm also prone to fungal acne. Recommendations. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know many people who struggle with fungal acne that have dry skin. I'd say make sure it's fungal acne, because fungal acne is very easy to misdiagnose. And, you know, technically to diagnose fungal acne, you have to go to a dermatologist and they have to perform these tests. So I'd say it might not be fungal acne. If anything, go to a dermatologist to like really address that. It could be a skin irritation. If you're seeing that there's like a lot of little bumps on your skin, you know, you might want to kind of like change up your routine a little bit or simplify your routine, because it could be skin irritation or it could just be like smaller breakouts. But just in general with fungal acne, I always recommend the Nice Oral shampoo. I think it's a great one to help get rid of, you know, that excess, you know, fungus on your face that you want to get rid of, because it has the treatment in the shampoo itself, and you just use it as a mask. That usually, I mean, in my experience, that solves like 99% of people's fungal acne. But if that's not working, definitely try going to a dermatologist, because that would be a little bit more specific of a problem. Hi Hiram, I'm from Iowa. I absolutely love your videos. Thank you, Grace. I still get oily skin around my nose. Anything that could help with that oil? Yeah, I struggle with oiliness around my nose as well. I think one thing, definitely using niacinamide will help. It will reduce the sebum on the skin so that you're not quite as oily. Using a really lightweight gel cream. The First Aid Beauty Coconut Water Cream is one of my favorites, or the Rovectin Clean Lotus Water Cream, also amazing. Any of those, or any just really lightweight moisturizer. Oh, also a good recent one that I found is the CeraVe Night Ultra Light Moisturizer. Did I just say light twice in a row? Yep, I think I did. The CeraVe Night Ultra Light. I don't know what I said. Anyway, it's a lightweight one. It's really amazing. I've been enjoying it, using it at night, and you can also use it during the day, and it has niacinamide, and it's a great price point. So I try recommending that one out. But yeah, if you just keep that up for a long period of time, over time you should see a reduction in the amount of oil that your skin is producing. That's one of the things I love about niacinamide. It works over time, and then like now I significantly struggle less with oily skin than I did like a year ago, or 2 years ago when I wasn't using niacinamide. Can you suggest some hydrating ingredients other than humectants? Absolutely. Any oil, like well, not any oil, but like a lot of the oils that you see, like sunflower seed oil. There's, oh, what was the one that I was just gonna say? Sunflower seed oil, meadow foam seed oil. Oh my gosh, I just had an oil on the top of my head that I completely forgot. Avocado oil. Jojoba oil, that's what I was thinking. Any of those oils will be really good for hydrating the skin, and they're not humectants. You could, I mean, most people are sensitive to hyaluronic acid if they are sensitive to a humectant, which is where I recommend glycerin. Glycerin is like the best alternative to hyaluronic acid, because it is technically a humectant, but it's not as like greedy as hyaluronic acid is. So I'd say any of those, but yeah, a lot of good oils will be really good for hydrating the skin. Someone just commented, I'm a bad bitch. Me too. I like to hope. Anyway, what do you think about Barbara Sturm products? So I'm just not a fan. I mean, any company that justifies charging that price point for that simple of an ingredient list has some questions of ethics to me personally, but that just goes for any luxury skincare brand. Like, I know Barbara Sturm is popular and like a lot of people do like bash on her products, but most products that are like last for 3 months but are above $300, $400 is just insane to me. Like, never pay that price point. Please, please, please don't pay that price point, because that's just so astronomically expensive for a product that would work just as well for, you know, $10 at Target. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. Hey Hiram, I use the Ordinary Cleanser, lactic acid 5%, and niacinamide 10%, topped with a L'Oreal moisturizer. My question is, what order or how should I use them? So, yes, I would say be careful about, like, I mean, niacinamide pretty much works with any treatments, but I'd say if you want the best results from your exfoliant, your lactic acid, use it overnight. I don't recommend using it during the day because it has to combat a lot of like environmental struggles, and it just performs better at night. But definitely use niacinamide during the day. And then, yeah, that should be good, honestly. I think that's a great order, and that's a great, simple, but effective routine. Marshmallow says, I love you so much. I love you too. Thoughts on Proactive. I don't want my mom to spend a lot of money on an expensive product. Recommendations for dark spots and brightening skin for melanin. Yes, so I'm not a fan of Proactive. I just think they're a little bit too harsh on the skin. They just don't really provide the innovation that I'm looking for, or the like gentle active approach that I like to go with. But, you know, they're not the worst. They've definitely gotten better than what they were like 5 years ago. But I'd say if you're looking for, you know, recommendations for dark spots and brightening skin for melanin, I'd say my suggestion is always just to work your way up from the least strongest to the strongest, because I don't necessarily take the approach of like, if you're struggling with something, go with the strongest thing out there, because sometimes your skin doesn't need it and it's just not necessary. So I would say start using niacinamide, see if that works. Typically for darker skin tones, niacinamide isn't going to be too effective, but you may as well try it out. And then from there you can try vitamin C, and then if that doesn't work, retinol. And retinol will be amazing for treating so many different problems in addition to dark spots, but it can be really beneficial for that. Some people would recommend hydroquinone. I personally don't, because it is a skin bleaching agent, and I don't know. I want to be careful about that one. But technically hydroquinone can work. I would just recommend that as a last resort if nothing else is working. Just because, I don't know, it just kind of has a negative stigma around it, I will say, because of the way that a lot of companies and products use it for skin bleaching treatments, which I'm just not comfortable with. You could go watch my video about, you know, skincare is inclusive. I talk more about that there. But yeah, I would say any of those ingredients will be good. Let's see. Hi Hiram, would you recommend using an additional exfoliant on days when not using Paula's Choice BHA? And if so, would you recommend a retinol or AHA? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's great to offset your treatments. I still think like you should give your skin a little bit of a break, so make sure that at least 1 or 2 days a week you're just not using any harsh treatments. But yeah, you definitely can. I would say it depends on what you're struggling with, but I love the exfoliant retinol kind of combo. Like one night exfoliating, the other night doing a retinol, and doing that like 3 days and then having a break for the other days is really fun, because you're able to see like the results from both. And retinol treats so many different things in addition to what, you know, BHA would treat, which is essentially, you know, breakouts and blackheads and stuff like that. So I would say retinol personally, but if you were to use an AHA, I would say just try using a gentle one, like a 5% lactic acid treatment, or something a little bit more on the gentle side. The Crave Beauty Kealayaha 5% AHA treatment is awesome. Is that 5%? I think it is. And then work your way up from there. Because like I said before, there's just, in my opinion, there's no need to go super strong if you're going to see the results from using something gentle. Sarah says, hi Hiram, I'm currently in a fire evacuation area in Oregon, suffering with dry skin and dealing with hazardous air quality smoke. What products would you recommend? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful. 2 of my friends had their houses burned down. It's been so horrible. I'm waiting until like an organization is, like a response organization is properly set up. And then I want to do some donations, because it's just been awful what's been happening there. It's so sad. But what products would I recommend? Definitely focus on hydration and barrier protection as much as possible, because smoke is really going to dehydrate the skin. Also antioxidants, boost up your antioxidants. So any, you know, it could be vitamin C, it could be just any product with a bunch of natural extracts. So things like, you know, berry extracts, fruit extracts, different things that can really boost up the antioxidant protection. And then make sure you're using a really good hydrating, super hydrating moisturizer, I would say with silicones, to help to really protect your skin is the best thing to do. And make sure you don't skip out on that hydration, because you're definitely going to need it. I'd say those would be the best thing. And also don't forget sunscreen, just because it's like cloudy and it looks like, you know, you're in hell, which I'm sorry, it looks awful there. It's so sad. I would say just make sure you're using a sunscreen as well, because you can still, you know, get damage, surprisingly. Products to help reduce redness. So I made a video all about like the best products for sensitive skin. I will say from personal experience, the Crave Beauty Great Barrier Relief is amazing for that. I've really been liking the Ren anti-redness serum so far. That one's been really enjoyable to use. What else besides that? Oh, the iUnique Tea Tree Relief Serum is amazing. There's a reason why I have it on my shelf. It's very lightweight, but really works to get rid of redness. But I recommend watching that video, because I go into detail there, because that is something I personally struggle with a lot. Best product from the Body Shop. Go watch my Body Shop video. I think it was like their Aloe moisturizer. I think. Body Shop doesn't have too many products that I'm like, I love. But they do have a few that I really, that I tried out and I definitely enjoyed. What are your thoughts on the Caveman regime? I assume you mean regiment. So if you haven't heard of the Caveman skincare routine, it's essentially to where you kind of operate like a caveman. I think you only wash your face with water and you do it for like weeks or a month. I mean, what do you think? Do you think I'd recommend going without any type of skincare for a month? No, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, the most caveman I would get is just using a sunscreen, and that's it. And I've done that sometimes when my skin is so sensitive that nothing else, like everything is making it super sensitive. I will just use a sunscreen, and that's it for like a few days to a week maximum. But any more than that, your skin really starts building up the sebum and all the dirt. And I don't know. It's just like there's a reason skincare is so beneficial. And I feel like Caveman regime is, or regimens is for people. I see it from a lot of people who are just like, get the chemicals out of your skin, say no to chemical skincare. And I'm just like, girl, stop overly worrying, you're fine. Everything's a chemical. You don't have to worry about that. So I don't know, I'm kind of like indifferent to it. But I definitely do support the approach of minimizing your skincare routine when going through specific sensitivities and listening to your dermatologist. Because if your dermatologist does say like, hey, don't wash your skin, only use a sunscreen, obviously I support that. But not the whole like, only wash your face with water approach. Thoughts on good molecules. I love good molecules. I need to talk about their products more. I keep forgetting. But some of their products have essential oils and fragrant extracts, but the majority of their products I think are great, and I just need to use them more. I keep forgetting. Every time I have a live stream, I'm like, oh, I need to like start using good molecules more, and I keep forgetting. So I will promise. This is an official promise for me to start using more good molecules products. Thoughts on lactic acid. Love it. Think it's amazing, especially for people who have more sensitive skin, as from a molecular size it's bigger, so it doesn't go as deep into the pore, so it means you're not going to see as much sensitivity as something like glycolic acid. So I think lactic acid is amazing. Hi Hiram, can you recommend a good and affordable lip product for very dry lips, please? Girl, I am trying to find it. The lips are the struggle part of my face. I struggle to find a really, really, really deeply nourishing, hydrating lip product. The only one I found is the Primera Lip Mask, and there's been like a few others. But I mean, I want one where I can just apply it like twice during the day and that's it. I don't need to use anything else. And everything that I try, it's just like, oh, the Glossier one. Yep, the Glossier balm is really good. And I know that people say it's exactly like the ones that you can find at the drugstore. Please point me in the direction of one that's exactly just like the Glossier balm, because I still cannot find a balm. Like Vaseline doesn't even work as well as Glossier balm does for hydrating my lips. So I don't know what it is. I really like that one, even though it's very fragranced. I'm like, girl, it's worth it. And then there's one that I recently talked about that I was enjoying, but I can't remember. But the problem is I don't think any of them are like drugstore price point, like super affordable. And with lips, it's just kind of like finding what works best for you. You know, everyone is different when it comes to lip products. It's kind of like what I was saying before with spot treatments. It's just trial and error and seeing what works best for you. Ah. Love from California. Thank you, Gage. What are your thoughts of using Manuka honey as a face mask? Also, what age do you think it's good to start using retinol? So honey is like probably the only ingredient where I'm like, if that's your DIY face mask, yes, I 100% supports. I love honey. I think it's incredible for the skin. So many different benefits, and using it by itself is honestly fine. I don't see an issue with that. Manuka honey specifically, because that can be really good for reducing redness and sensitivity. But I will say Manuka honey is extremely expensive, like very expensive. I think the last time I considered buying like a Manuka honey, I think it was like for that much, like $200, $250, somewhere around there. It's so expensive. So if you're willing to pay that much, that's fine. But yeah, I think it's great. And then what age it's good to start using retinol? Whenever you feel it's best. Retinol is an ingredient that has been so villainized by so many people for no reason. It's really beneficial. I will say, honestly, it's fine to start using retinol at any age, but I don't recommend it as the first thing you start using. Like, I don't recommend, like, you haven't used skincare before, bam, you start off with a super strong retinol. Don't recommend that. Work your way up, try other products, see what works. If nothing else is really working, you can start using retinol. I started using retinol when I was like 19, and I'm so glad I did. And other people don't have to use it until they're 30, and that's fine. The only thing I will say is don't start using retinol when the damage is already done, because that kind of defeats the purpose of using a good retinol. Retinol will really be preventative. Yes, it can help a little bit with repairing the skin, but it's mostly preventative like other skincare, so you want to make sure you're curbing that. So when you start to see like little fine lines starting to form, get on that retinol game, because that's really going to help to prevent it as long as possible. Excuse me. Aiden asks, best retinol for someone starting out. Have previously been using vitamin C, but I don't think it's working for my hyperpigmentation. Yeah, definitely. So I'd say good retinols to start out with. Like I said before, the Inkey List one is a great retinol to start out with. The ordinary 0.5% retinol is also a good one too. That one's a little bit trickier to navigate, but I still think it's a good one. The CeraVe retinols, I think they have two different ones, if I'm not mistaken. Both of them are awesome. I like the resurfacing retinol. Super good as well, because you kind of get benefits of multiple ingredients in addition to retinol. Also, Differin can be good as well, but I will say, Differin I used and my skin just freaked the fuck out. It lost its mind. So be careful when you use Differin, and make sure you don't use that as a spot treatment. That's only like prescription. It's not prescription, but it was, and now it's available over the counter. So you can use that one, but it's very strong. I would say use like one of these, like the ones I recommended, to just work your way up, and only start using it once a week and then work your way up from there. Alex says, hi, what do you think about Glossier? I've watched your video on them, but you haven't really talked about the priming moisturizer and milky jelly cleanser, both unscented. Thanks, I love you. Oh, thanks, Alex. So yes, there was kind of a reason I didn't talk about those products in the video. It's just because I just didn't, like, I saw them online and I saw them at the store, and I looked at the ingredient list and I was like, there's nothing that impresses me about these. They're both so simple, and you can find them at a drugstore price point for very cheap. I was more interested in seeing what skincare that they offered that was a little bit unique, a little bit different. Yeah, you know, they're fine. If you want to spend that much money on those products, you're more than welcome to. And I, like, no complaints from me. I just didn't feel it was personally worth it for me to purchase those products, but they're fine. I think the general consensus that I've seen from like other people who have tried it is that they're just like, I mean, it's okay, but it's expensive for essentially like a drugstore level product that's not, you know, innovative at all. So that's my personal opinion on it, but I am grateful they're both unscented, and if those are the products you're using from Glossier and you love using them, absolutely no complaints from me. Keep doing you, boo. That's great. What do I think of Hada Labo? I think they're great. I have yet to find a product I like from Hada Labo, because they seem to be really hyper focused on like extreme hydration at just a level that is way too much for my oily combo skin. So I haven't found anything I like from them yet, but I'm still trying things out. I will let you know. But yeah, I think they're a great brand with really good ingredients. Is Neutrogena okay? I would recommend watching my video, The Truth About Neutrogena. I'd take a deep dive into a lot of the products. But I will say, I go extra harsh in that video, and since I've made that video, I found more products from Neutrogena that are fragrance-free and non-irritating. So I'd say yes, Neutrogena is okay. Just be careful about their products that are overly fragrance or overly stripping or damaging. Thoughts on Belief Aqua Balm? Their moisture balm I like. I think that one's great. It's really hydrating. It does have one fragrant component, but overall I think it's fine. Their Aqua Bomb though, that one has denatured alcohol, really high concentration, so I wouldn't recommend that one. Thoughts on Adapalene? Just shared it with Differin. Yeah, too much for my skin, but I think it's a great ingredient. Hi Hiram, I work night shifts and it's rough on my skin. I don't have a lot of personal time. I have school and a 10-month-old as well. Any tips? Wow, you sound amazing that you can handle all of that workload. That is incredible. Keep it up, boo. You got this. That's incredible. So I will say definitely to make your skincare as easy as possible. If you have time, watch my video about skincare for lazy people, or because I talk about how like keeping your skincare next to your bed is great, because when you pass out, you can just do everything right there. Also cleanse your face in the shower, because that'll just make sure that you're doing your skincare routine, but not changing or adding too many steps that make it take a lot of time. Simplify your routine, make sure it's only like 4 steps. All you need is just like a cleanser, treatment, moisturizer, and sunscreen. And then make sure you're just taking like 1 minute or 30 seconds when you're doing all of that, just to like breathe as you're applying your skincare and pretend like someone else is applying your skincare. When you pretend like someone else is applying your skincare, you feel like you're getting a facial, and it's amazing, and it just feels very like therapeutic and spa-like. But I'd say any of those tips hopefully would be able to help. But keep it up. That is incredible. I'm so impressed with the level that you're working. And you got this. I believe in you. Let's see. Hi there. Thanks for all your informative videos. Of course. I'm 31 and suffer from dark spots. Do you think Clarisonic is okay to use? My skin is combo. You know, I used to really love Clarisonic, but as I've gotten older and wiser, just kidding, I haven't gotten that wiser. I would say I'm not that big of a fan of Clarisonic because it can be really overly harsh on your skin. I'd say maximum use it like once or twice a week, but no more than that. If you're struggling with dark spots though, Clarisonic is not going to help. Clarisonic focuses on cleansing and some physical exfoliation, but when you have dark spot, that is such like a deeper level of damage that you need to use like corrective treatments to take care of that. So things like, you know, niacinamide, vitamin C, retinol are really going to help to get rid of those dark spots, and Clarisonic won't be able to help. But Clarisonic is okay. I mean, I will say I do like Foreo more now because they're a little bit more gentle, or just like a more gentle type of cleansing system, and Clarisonic went out of business, so they're not around for much longer. Just FYI. Aloha Hiram, opinions on the brand Elemis. I use their superfood cleansing balm and wanted to know your opinion. Love you. Oh, thank you, Daria. Yes, that's like, I'd say like the one product I like from Elemis. Definitely good. Pricey, bougie, but from what I remember, it doesn't have polyethylene. It's a really high quality cleansing balm. Susan Yarrow talks about it all the time. She loves that product, and I think it's a great one. Yeah, like the only product I know from Elemis that I like, because they're definitely a bougie. Leslie said, because of you, my skin cleared up. Thank you. Oh, of course. I'm so happy. That's awesome. That's what I want. Let's see. What are your sunscreen preferences? Go watch my video about the best sunscreens, because there are too many for me to put in this video. I've talked about so many there, but my all over favorite one is the Purito Centella SPF 50. Definitely an incredible one. What's your opinion on Nivea? I mean, it's very old skincare. They use ingredients that work. They're just not very innovative, and some of their products are fragranced to the gods, so not a fan of that. Dry skin and sensitive skin, so should I use the salicylic acid cleanser? I would not recommend, to be honest. Salicylic acid is really only beneficial if you are struggling with breakouts. If you are someone who's struggling with really dry skin and breakouts, I'd say really just focusing on repairing your moisture barrier is the best way to go. You know, finding good hydrating products, not overly stripping your skin. Taking a break from the harsh cleansers, using a gentle cleanser is kind of the best route to help heal your skin from that damage. But yeah, because you have to use a cleanser every single day, and I don't think salicylic acid is a good product at all to use every single day when you have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend it. Vitamin C or niacinamide? Ooh, I mean niacinamide. There's a reason why I talk about niacinamide so much. I think if vitamin C were more stable, I would 100% be on board with vitamin C. Like, I would absolutely be fully on board with vitamin C as the best ingredient out there, but it's so unstable when exposed to air and light and can turn bad so quickly that most of the time when I buy a vitamin C product, it goes bad before I finish it. So because of that reason, I do like niacinamide more. It's just so much of a stable, more stable ingredient. Rosehip oil, love. Rosehip oil is amazing, but like all oils, I don't recommend using a 100% oil on your face. But as an ingredient, it's bomb. Jenna says, my skin is peeling and I haven't been in the sun. I'm confused. From Vancouver for reference. Been putting lots of lotion, but it won't help. I love you. Love you too. So that's kind of strange. I would say try taking a step back from your current skincare routine and try supplementing in one product at a time and see if it could be a reaction from a product, because I'd say if you haven't struggled with this before, then it could be something in your skincare routine, because that's definitely not normal. And if you're really trying to hydrate your skin and the peeling's not stopping, maybe switching out which moisturizer you use, because it could have an ingredient that's just sensitizing to your skin or causing that reaction. And if nothing else, going to a dermatologist, because that's definitely like a skin issue that you'd want to, you know, treat if nothing else is working. Amaya says, I love you. I love you too. I was wondering what your thought is on Murad. I think Murad's great. Some of their products are really expensive and some of their products do have essential oils, but overall I think they're a great, like more science-focused brand with really good ingredients that I enjoy. If you're willing to pay that price point, which for me I am, because you know they have good skincare products, so I don't mind at all. So yeah, I think they're good. Linda says, love your videos. I tried lactic acid for dark spots, then broke out. It's been months and still getting pimples. Oh no. I tried vitamin C and B3, but no luck. Help. Oh, I'm so sorry. So that sounds like a more, like maybe you have a skin allergy or a reaction. If you're still struggling with that, I just recommend kind of resetting your skin, taking a complete break, only using like a sunscreen, and that's it. If absolutely necessary, a cleanser, but just completely reset your skin and then reintroduce the products or use a new skincare routine. Sometimes you know, something will inspire the problem, and then the other like products or ingredients in the products will kind of just like further aggravate the skin, so it's not able to properly recover. So giving your skin a little bit of a break can help. But at that point, I would also recommend maybe going and seeing a dermatologist, because that sounds like a very specific skin allergy or skin issue that I wouldn't really be able to help with. But I'm so sorry. I always feel bad when you guys say like, my skin reacted to this after, you know, your recommendation. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad. But you know, that's just the nature of skincare. Everyone's skin is different, and unfortunately not everyone's skin is going to like every ingredient out there, and sometimes you will have a sensitivity to a specific ingredient, and I wish it was something that we could avoid, but you know, that is the trial and error of skincare, unfortunately. Best affordable cleansing balm, the Neutrogena cleansing balm. Let me see if I have it right here. I apologize if I don't. I keep like, I don't. My gosh, I really don't have like any of the products I usually reference around me. I'm so sorry. It's the blue one that you can find at Target. I think it's like $10. It's a polyethylene free cleansing balm. Really good. I like that one a lot. Also the Burt's Bees cleansing balm as well is super good. That one has a little bit of fragrance though, so if you're super sensitive to fragrance, just FYI. Let's see. What do you think about Pacifica skincare? P.S. Love your videos. Thank you, Ashley. Pacifica, I have tried. I mean, what is it? Their hemp line is good. I do like their hemp line, but besides that, I struggle to find products from them that I like because they're so fragranced. I really want to like them because they seem super cute and just like a lot of like cool ingredients. But if you are going to get products from them, their hemp line is definitely the best one to go with. I like their cleanser, and I like their moisturizer from the hemp line. I featured it in like one of my best drugstore moisturizer videos. I featured one of their, oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm completely wrong. I'm thinking Shea Moisture. No, I'm completely wrong. No, I don't think I like any products from Pacifica. I can't think of a single product from them that I've really, really liked. I was thinking of Shea Moisture. I apologize. That's the one where their hemp line is really good. Let's see. Claire says, oh my gosh, I finally made it to one of your lives. Yay, welcome. I'm always glad when people are able to make it, especially for anyone who's in like Europe or other places around the world, because sometimes the time zone is just difficult. Let's see. What do you think about Peach and Lily? I'm using their Good Acids toner. So Peach and Lily has some good products. I still have to try them out to get like a full feel for the brand. A lot of their products do have fragrance, but some of their products are good. They have like I just know what they look like in the box. There's like the green moisturizer and then a cleanser in the green box too. I know for sure those are good. Oh, and the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Serum, definitely good. I really like that one. I think that's probably their best product. I mean, it's their most popular product, so. Is Garnier a good brand for skincare? Garnier fragrances their skincare like crazy, so I don't know. I'm still trying to find a product from them that I like really like. I don't think I found one yet, except for their micellar water, of course. I love their micellar water. I'm always talking about that one. But the rest of their products, I haven't found one yet. Is retinol safe for the under eye area? Also, is that Emma coffee? Yes, it is. I mean, I know you can't see it, but it's Emma Chamberlain's coffee. I love it. So good. Yes, it is. If you are nervous about it, I'd recommend just diluting it with your face moisturizer and putting it on your under eye area. With any under eye treatment, though, you always want to make sure you just like put it along the orbital bone. The orbital bone is where you kind of feel like the socket bone. If you put it up above that, you can risk sensitivity and irritation. So be careful about where you put it. But most of the time, the actual like darkness and aging occurs along the orbital bone. So just use the the retinol serum there, and you should be good to go. But as always, be careful about how much you use retinol because you can see a reaction. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. So as always, I want to hear about your guys's questions that are non-skincare related. Just any questions about, my life, Hawaii, I don't know, other stuff. Just anything that you want to ask. I always like taking the last 5 minutes to just do fun, random questions because sometimes we get so like skincare focused that it's kind of like, oh, let's just like take a chill pill, let's relax, let's just like, relax. And so let me know if you have questions about like anything random. Wow, I feel like my brain has just like completely dissolved. I'm struggling to speak coherently. Favorite cereal? Ooh, Captain Crunch. I've always loved Captain Crunch. That's just like the best. I know that it kind of like leaves the top of your mouth raw after you eat it because it's like so like sharp, but it's so good. I love Captain Crunch. I could eat it forever. Let's see, non-skincare questions. Feel free to ask anything about Hawaii or my life or my roommate's puppy or my roommates or anything like that. Oh, sorry, the questions are coming in so fast. Oh man. Let's see. I feel like every time I look at my phone to answer questions, it's like double chin. I'm like, let's see. Do I like going to the beach? Yes, I do. Beach is like my favorite thing. Right now though, so the beaches have been closed because of COVID for a while. But now I think you can go to the beach if you're one person. So I do like going to the beach. I absolutely love it. It's like my healing time. I don't know. There's something. I remember the first time I ever went to the ocean, I went to Fiji. And I had, just been raised on a cattle ranch in the middle of Arizona. And I went and I saw like the real ocean. And I was like, I will live for the rest of my life by an ocean. Like, I have to. I love it. It's just so therapeutic to my soul. I absolutely love living by the ocean. So yes, I love going to the beach. I just need to go more often. It's just difficult with COVID. Let's see. Trying to find good ones to answer. I'm struggling to pick one. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, okay, I do want to answer this question. Can people with brown skin use glycolic acid? There has been a lot of like information circling about like how, people of color shouldn't use glycolic acid. Here's the thing. I have looked at multiple dermatologists' recommendations and chemists' recommendations around this, like saying whether people can, and pretty much unanimously, I found that most people say, most professionals and experts say that it is fine to use glycolic acid. The problem is only if you're overusing glycolic acid, if you're over exfoliating your skin using glycolic acid. That's when people with darker skin tones can struggle. And to that, I just say, just in general, you shouldn't be over exfoliating your skin. Regardless of what skin tone you have, if you are over exfoliating your skin, exfoliating too frequently, you will see damaging effects. And while I definitely agree that there needs to be more inclusivity when it comes to future research, because a lot of the research in the past has not included people of color, I will say there's no significant evidence to substantiate that, you know, people with darker skin tones have a particular sensitivity to using glycolic acid ever. I would just say be very particular about how often you use it, but just in general, I don't recommend exfoliating any more than every other day, and that's even pushing it a little bit. I say recommend like 3 times a week at most, and if you are, you know, feel free to, you know, be careful if you want to, but I've heard a lot of people say like glycolic acid is dangerous for people of color, like never use it, it's so bad. And I'm like, okay, well, I have not yet seen this, and there are so many experts that I have seen that say exactly the opposite. So and particularly you know, experts with darker skin tones and experts of color. So that's just what I've seen so far. But obviously, as I'm not a person of color, I cannot speak specifically for people with those skin tones, but just from what I've seen out there, that's what I've seen. How's Oreo doing? Oreo's my roommate's dog. She's doing great. She's doing awesome. I always love snuggling with her. She's my favorite. I love her. Okay, I'll answer 2 more questions, 2 non-skincare questions. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to like pick a good one. I'm always so like picky about what the last questions I'm going to respond to should be. Let's see. Let me see. Someone said joined right at the end, but love you so much. Oh, thank you. Hey, I'm glad you were able to even tune in for like 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you for coming around. Let's see. Oh, someone asked, then I met you lip mask. I've been trying it out. I don't love it so far just because it doesn't provide the amount of hydration that I need, and it kind of made my lips a little bit more like peely and white, so I don't know. Sorry, I just wanted to answer that because it came to the top of my mind. Nicki or Rihanna? Oh my god, that's a good question. I will have to say Nicki. I love Rihanna so much. Incredible, but Nicki will always be my queen. She will always be my number 1. I mean, I've memorized about half her songs. I'm working on memorizing every single one of her songs, and I will never not love Nicki. She is just my favorite, and yeah, I'm a Barb forever. What can I say? Okay, 1 more question. Sasha says, you bring so much happiness into my life and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. That's so sweet. Oh, I love seeing messages like that. Thank you. That's very kind. Okay, 1 last non-skincare question. Let's see. Oh, someone asked, are you doing okay? I always love people when ask those questions because it feels like, you know, like a real friend is like, not that you guys aren't real friends, but like, you know, someone like is just like checking in on you. And I will say, I've been so stressed out of my mind like the past few weeks. I thankfully moved to a place that is a lot like, to a very like peaceful kind of like environment by nature, so that I can kind of like clear my mind, but I have been very, 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 very stressed. And I'm hoping that that finish this sometime soon and I can relax a little bit, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I'm doing okay. I'm still going to keep creating as much content as I can for you guys, obviously, because that's like #1 priority to me. So I don't think you guys will see much change in the content, but yeah, I'm trying to hold it together as best as I can. But thank you guys so much for all of the questions. Thank you for Thank you for asking all your skincare questions. I hope I was able to answer as much of them as possible. As always with my live streams, I'm just like, I try to keep it super, super fast paced, but I also don't want to get like too crazy so that you guys can actually understand what I'm saying. I try to do these every other week, so make sure you tune in 2 weeks from now for the next one that I do. But thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you as always for trusting me with your skin and, you know, with your questions. It really means a lot that you would want to ask me these things and like trust whatever responses I have. That means the world to me. So thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I will see you in the live stream, and thank you for all the love and support. Oh yeah, and thank you to everyone who did the super chats. As always, you guys are amazing. No pressure. But you guys are great. Oh, I love seeing all your messages saying bye, feel better. Love you guys. Thank you guys. Are you kneeling right now? Yes, I'm kneeling right now. I always kneel for my videos. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.